I'm Mike McRae, a Perendale breeder about an hour and a half south-west of here in the snowline this morning apparently, so it's good to see an Otago winter finally arrive, so hopefully we're going to get it at lambing time. The Maternal Hill Next Generation Progeny Test, it's a partnership with Beef and Lamb New Zealand Genetics, Smedley Station and ourselves, Perendale New Zealand. So I was asked to speak on this. It's only just got going, we've just got it cranked up with our first mating, so we've actually got quite a bit of experience with running our own progeny tests, so I think probably the best way to describe this is I can tell you what we've been doing for the last 6 years. So we went into a major progeny test started 2010, and a lot of it was done with ag research. It's doing its own thing. There we go. And so it started in 2010, we had one site at South Island, and then we decided in 2011 right through to 2016 this year we had a site in North Island as well. So it was run on 2 hill country properties, one in Otago and then more recently in Southland, and then one in the Hawke's Bay. And our main aim was to improve our meat traits. We'll look where we sat with our meat traits and get some facts about meat quality. And also, just as an added bonus, we realised that Perendale was lagging a bit in the facial eczema. There wasn't a lot of guys breeding for it, and we do have a lot of flocks in the North Island. So we had a really good opportunity to do something about facial eczema, so you needed some attention in the breed, and obviously measuring it, the FE tolerance. So ag research said we actually needed a base of 1,500 animals that have been tested. So we had all the female progeny, we actually tested ewe lambs to make some headway. So, well, not technology. So yeah, it was five progeny per sire. The society paid for the progeny test animals, and the breeders paid for their own. So it gave an opportunity for other breeders to see where they sat and actually test their own animals. And all the facial eczema stuff was run at the progeny test sites just for ease of management. So the design of the progeny test, when we started, we sort of started here and it progressed naturally, if you like. When we learned more and more about it, there was quite a group of us that got it off the ground, and we worked together and we sort of learned as we went with ag research. So we decided we want to keep it low cost because farming's not a lot of money lying around. So it was natural mating. We synchronised ewes with the teasers. We made it in April, so the rams from the North Island could be used in their studs before the trial, and the Southland rams could be used after for linkages. And we had link rams between the North Island and the South Island sites, and between years for linkage, I think. So the crypt male progeny, they were measured at slaughter. We did one kill. Actually, that's a typo. That should have said 6 to 8 weeks, not 4 to 6 weeks. After weaning. So one kill. So it did mean you get a few smaller lambs, but we were told it's a lot more accurate for collating the data with one kill than rather having 2 or 3. So, and it was a lot easier management for the guy who was running the test. So we recorded put NLB there, that was more to get a handle on survival for each sire. So we recorded the number of lambs that were born, weaning weight, eye muscle in the males only, a pre-weight slaughter, and there's the Viascan data from alliance, meat yield, pH, yellow fat, meat colour. And also we actually did a bit of work with the meat, the ag research, with the tenderness and the colour and stuff like that too. And obviously the facial eczema come later with the ewe lambs. So that's some of the trial lambs on the Otago property. I think they were about to go on a truck and get killed, and there they are going on a truck. Right, one-way truck. So to date we've tested about 95 rams, and they've been mainly 2-tooth and 4-tooth, so you could say a lot of them are improved in size. The rams were chosen, they'd be in the top 20% of our cross flock. There was a meat focus. We looked at growth and the meat traits, but they had to be a representative of the breed structurally, like, they had to be a good ram. So they were chosen. There was a panel that chose them, 3 or 4 guys, and it was done on paper with input from flock manager Julie Asper from Projected Gains, and it was up to the breeders. We'd bring a breeder and say, "Oh, you've got a really good ram, you want it?" And they'd say, "Yeah, it's a good ram." I'd say, "No, I don't want it. It's structurally not sound, or it's been cold, or whatever," because some of those rams are still on the list. So what have we learned? This is just a few key things. We've discovered that high growth lambs are not necessarily the high meat yield lambs. That meat yield up to 62%, we've just actually collated some data at the moment. We've actually got some lambs that killed at 63.7, so we're pretty happy with our meat yield and breed. No super rams, but we plenty of elite rams that were tops in individual traits, some of them in several traits, but we haven't discovered the super ram that's number 1 in everything yet. I don't think anyone else has they? And our goal to have 1500 FE measured is well on track. We're well over halfway, and we're still carrying on with that. And probably the main thing that we have learned is we've got quite a strong cross flock. Most of our breeders are in it, and the result of this trial is it's given us really strong linkages. So that's been a massive plus. So our cross flock's actually quite accurate. You can actually rely on it and use it with the linkages. Like I say, we're a well linked across flock. The data collected is collected the same way on all sites, and we put 2 rams into the CPT, the Perendales Society does, and the rams that go into the CPT have got to be used in our own trial, so they're actually, and that's for linkages mainly, and that links our trial to the CPT trial, and to improve the connection to SIL-ACE. So this is a SIL-ACE genetic trend graph, and we've actually pulled them off to see what was happening. And as you're all aware, when you focus on, you could probably say focusing on meat, is really, one trait or several traits. So we've still carried on, our production's still lifting, so we haven't sacrificed anything else. Lamb growth, you can actually see where the trial started, roughly. Things started climbing, so it's actually flowing through the whole breed, the trial work. And the one that's really got us excited is the meat yield one. It took a hell of a jump when we started doing the trial work. So, and that's just a real bonus. Opportunities for the future. So this is where we were approached by Beef and Lamb about running the next generation trial. They actually, to let them throw it at us, they asked if we're interested and did we know of a property. We had another property lined up, they pulled the pin on us, and then we've got a relationship with Smedley through one of the counsellors, and he approached them and they were quite excited about it. So you partnered. So we want to continually raise the profile of the breed and, more importantly, keep the genetic improvement going. So, and partnering with Beef and Lamb New Zealand Genetics for their scientific expertise, and they're a great team to work with. It's been so far very good. And Smedley obviously supply the farm, the stock, and more importantly the labour. And probably for some of us younger breeders, for the trainees, we felt, obviously they're going to get some experience with Perendales, but more importantly for us, it was me and Russell Prophet spoke about it. When I look around the room, there's a lot of us breeders that, we're getting older and there's not enough young guys coming in. So we felt this was such a great opportunity to get these young guys at Smedley to have experience with genetics and performance recording and the technology. We've got Gallagher's on board as well. So let's hope that, you know, one or two of these people out of Smedley go into breeding, and because we actually, you know, we're all talking about employment issues in farming, and it's not just farm labourers, is it? We're going to have to keep some breeders coming on stream. So now the trials are being run very similar to the one that we run, and you know, you can run these trials if you keep it simple. It keeps the cost down. One kill, natural mating, and accurate data collection is the big thing. But if you keep it simple, the data collection will be a lot more accurate. If you get really complicated, it can get untidy. So, and using young rams. Now this has already been spoken on. I've already had this thrown at me last night, but we chose to use. There was two options: Turtles or ram hoggets. So we chose ram hoggets. It was less impact on the studs that they come from, rather than taking the, you know, two rams, which are possibly stud rams. And the unproven rams means that any breeder, you know, can qualify for breeding fine ram hoggets, you know, providing they're still up in the top 20% on their report. And to continue the linkages, each of the farms submitted ram hoggets will be used as a tutor for the following year in their stud. So that links the next generation site to each breeder. And a lot of our breeders felt it was easier to commit ram lambs than adult rams. And that was the big thing. When we got this thing off the ground, we started ringing around. I thought, well, if you can't get the rams, that's going to kill it, isn't it? And a lot of them said, yeah, we actually end up turning guys away. So we've actually got next year's crop of ram lambs committed, so, which is a great thing. But I think if it was 2 rams, it would have been a completely different story.
It's more than one ram per breeder in a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 5.
They said 5 rams.
Well, it depends on we've sort of made it on the size of the flock, so it's sort of anywhere from 3 to 5 ram hoggets. Yeah. And the next generation site and our progeny test, this is where it got a wee bit tricky, is the linkages. We wanted to make sure everything was linked up. So we used semen from the 2 rams that were used in the CPT trial this year. Were also used in the South Island and North Island of our trial sites, the AI, as well as the Smedley site. So it links all 3, and that's actually very important when you're doing a trial. You've got to make sure they're linked. For them to be any use, they need to be linked to the CPT and, you know, obviously the next generation site. So this, because we've moved on to the next generation site, this is actually our last year of Perendales, New Zealand, our trial. There's a crop to be on the ground in the spring, so that's basically the linkage crop. And then, so the trial, our trial was focused on meat initially, and then it moved on to FE and a few other things. And we're really excited about the opportunity to be in the next generation trial at Smedley, because there's going to be more of a maternal focus. There'll still be the meat traits recorded, but yeah, the maternal focus really interests us, and it's great at a place like Smedley with the scale and the facilities and the sheep and staff. So yeah, so I'd just like to thank Big Glenn for the opportunity to speak. And any questions?